I would never say I was cutthroat. Cutthroat sounds like I'm a villain.
Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I led you to believe it was easy when it wasn't. Maybe I made you think my highlights started at the free throw line and not in the gym. Maybe I made you think that every shot I took was a game winner. That my game was built on flash and not fire. Maybe it's my fault that you didn't see that failure gave me strength, that my pain was my motivation. Maybe I led you to believe that basketball was a God-given gift and not something I worked for every single day of my life. Maybe I destroyed the game. Or maybe you're just making excuses.
Gets a screen from Longley.
Champion, winner.
Jordan on the drive, falls down underneath.
An unbelievable move! He put it in and it counts! Oh, here comes Mr. Jordan is right.
To describe MJ,
And a shot on Elo.
one word would be greatness.
A spectacular move! Holy cow!
Look at the air, look at the hang time, look at the flying motion.
I would describe Michael Jordan as the GOAT, greatest of all time.
Every day, the first person there before the sun would be Jordan. And he was there because he wasn't good. He would work with a batting instructor and work all day long and be the last person to leave every night also. I asked him what it was like for him in the morning. And Jordan said, I get up before the sun comes up and I make myself some breakfast by myself. He was down there alone. And I get in the car and I'm driving to spring training, and there's no one really out on the roads yet. And the day would end, and he would say to the batting instructor, can we do a little more? I think I'm getting this. I think I'm learning this. I think I'm getting this. And that's when Sports Illustrated put him on the cover, saying that Michael Jordan has embarrassed baseball. And as I would watch him there every night as the sun was going down and the other ball players had left, and I would see this guy working to get better, Michael Jordan working to get better.
I wanted to excel my game and isolate my game from everybody else. That I was more than just, a few dimensional. But even when it came to Magic Johnson, Magic Johnson was a crowd pleaser. He was a good offensive player. He was a great motivator. Average defensive player. I wanted to change that. I wanted to take another step. I wanted to do all those things, that could separate me from Magic Johnson. I'm not saying he wasn't great. He still is great. But we're great in our own different way, and that was motivational for me.
I never feel that I'm at my best. I feel I still have room to improve. I still set goals for myself to strive for. I'm never complacent with what I've achieved. Even though it's been very successful for me, I still feel I have a lot to prove, not just as a player, but as a person, as a father, to some extent as a role model. So I'm never really too complacent with myself or with what I've achieved. When I get to a point where I feel I can improve as a player, I walk away from the game. I still feel that I have a plateau that I hadn't reached yet in terms of my skills or my expectations of myself. I'm always going to expect myself to do certain things or surpass certain things. As long as I believe that, then my road to success is going to continue to expand.
Sports is a tool that teaches, and it teaches you bad things. It can also teach you good things. It's how you perceive those things. I've looked at every experience that I've had, negative and positive, and taken that as a positive. If I wouldn't change anything because I think it would alter some of the other things that happened. So when I look back, I can't say that I've had any bad things happen. Sure, you don't want bad things to happen, but you deal with bad things. You can't have good or without bad. We are old, and sure, we're tired. It's been a long season, but we have a vision. We have a finish that we have to attain. And sometimes you have to do it when you're old and you're tired. And I think it's the test of your will to succeed when you have to deal with,
some of these negatives. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
No matter what he's doing, Michael Jordan's always been driven by only one thing: winning. Friend or foe, it's the challenge alone that fuels his competitive fire.
I'm losing, and now I'm dying over it. When you guys get the hell out of here, maybe we can play some golf. I would never say I was a cutthroat. I was a competitor. Cutthroat sounds like I'm a villain. If you're my opponent, if I knock you down, I'm not picking you up.
A good competitor always evaluates his opponent, and you understand for what he really is, but you never try to give him confidence. You try to take it at all times, and sometimes it's easier to take confidence and sometimes it's harder. But mentally, I gotta find a way, and sometimes you have to trick yourself. I can focus and pull out to get me ready for the game.
MJ. Oh, he did it! Michael shakes the finger. He finally got his dunks on Mount Matumbo.
That's how I got myself motivated, but it wasn't the same every game. It was, I had to trick myself. I had to, more or less find a focus to go out and play at a certain level for whatever reason.
Kittles has it knocked away by Michael Jordan.
I practice as if I'm playing a game. So when the moment comes in the game, it's not new to me. That's the beauty of the game of basketball. That's the reason why you practice. That's the effort. So when you get to that moment, you don't have to think. Instinctively, things happen. Those are all training tools for me. And every day in practice was like that to me. It was a competition. So when the game comes, there's nothing that I haven't already practiced. It's a routine. Whatever happens in the game now, okay, I've done this before. And I never feared about my skills, because I put in the work. Work ethic eliminates fear.
Yes.
So if you put forth the work, then what are you fearing? You know what you're capable of doing, what you're not.
We're down to 2, down to 1. Here's Jordan. Yes! And the Chicago Bulls have won their first ever NBA championship.
When you finally won the championship, the emotional images of you cradling the trophy while sitting with your dad were just an unforgettable image. Can you describe or talk about what you were feeling at that particular time?
Yeah, it's hard to describe, even though, you have so much time, like 20-some years to reflect on it. And the thing is that it was like everything that I worked for has got me to this point. And now everybody says, well, they were lucky. They were lucky the first time. Now do it again. Maybe they wasn't lucky. Do it again.
Chicago Bulls have won the NBA championship for the second straight season.
I never gave up. Every time we were close, I knew we were going to do it. I knew.
Initially, it was saying, okay, we're on top. We can laugh, we can joke, but we're going to work hard. We're going to still do everything we want. And we're going to still win.
This is the final question. Can you repeat the following after me and then fill in the blank? The greatest thing about the game of basketball is...
The greatest thing about the game of basketball to me is the passion, the love that I have. Because when you have love for anything, you'll go to the extreme. Maintain that love. That's what love does. And love drives you to do everything you need to maintain that. If I didn't have the love for the game of basketball, all the things that I just panned out to you in my career would have never been achievable. But it was truly my love for the game that kept me pushing to be the best basketball player that I could be. Be the best at anything. gotta have a certain love for that to make you overcome all the obstacles that's gonna be going in your way. So that's what the game of basketball has been for me.
And as for Michael Jordan, all the superlatives have been exhausted and almost all applied. His heart, his athletic integrity, every bit as impressive as his artistry.
오늘은 마이클 조던에 관한 이야기를 소개해드렸습니다. 앞선 내용들을 살펴보면 조던이 성공한 이유가 여러 가지 있습니다. 첫 번째로는 부지런하고 연습을 성실하게 합니다. 조던은 아침 일찍 모든 준비를 다 해요. 그리고 남들이 쉴 때 훈련합니다. 심지어 그 훈련을 실전처럼 한다고 합니다. 또 배울 점이 있으면 물어보고 알려달라고 해요. 이러한 점에서 주변 선수들과의 격차를 벌리고 매번 앞서 나갔습니다. 두 번째로는 조던은 남들과는 다르게 되려고 했습니다. 대체될 수 있는 선수가 아닌 대체될 수 없게끔 훈련했어요. 앞선 이야기들을 보면 조던이 말한 매직 존스라는 선수는 공격에 비해 수비가 뛰어나지만 조던은 수비뿐만 아니라 모든 방면에서 뛰어나기 위해 노력했다고 합니다. 결국에는 공격과 수비를 전부 잘하는 유일무이한 선수가 됐죠. 세 번째로는 자신에 대한 기대치가 높습니다. 그리고 현 위치에서 절대로 안주하지 않아요. 조던은 본인의 레벨을 지금보다 더 높게 생각하고 이를 틀림없다고 믿습니다. 그래서 여기서 생기는 괴리감을 없애기 위해 조던은 더욱더 훈련하고 앞으로 나아갔습니다. 네 번째로는 매사에 긍정적입니다. 좋든 싫든 매번 긍정적으로 받아들이고 이를 농구와 연관시켜 본인을 한층 더 성장시킵니다. 그래서 중간에 조던이 이런 말을 하죠.
Sure, I mean, you don't want bad things to happen, but you deal with bad things. You can't have good or without bad.
다섯 번째로는 조던은 강력한 비전이 있습니다. 육체가 극한에 부딪히더라도 강한 비전을 가지고 있기 때문에 피로나 고통 같은 것들을 이겨냈습니다. 여섯 번째로는 실패가 발판이었습니다. 조던이 놓친 슛은 거의 1만 번이 넘어요. 진 경기는 무려 300번이 넘는다고 합니다. 그래도 조던은 이에 굴하지 않고 매번 이기려고 노력했어요. 잦은 실패에서 배움을 얻고 성장하여 더 나은 다음을 기약하면서 훈련했습니다. 마지막으로 조던은 농구를 사랑했습니다. 저는 이게 가장 중요한 것 같아요. 어떤 일이든 좋아하고 사랑하는 것에서 범접할 수 없는 격차가 생기는 것 같습니다. 일단 좋아하고 사랑하게 된다면 대부분의 시간과 에너지가 한 곳으로 몰리게 되는 것 같습니다. 이것 말고도 많은 이유들이 있겠지만 이러한 이유들로 조던은 역대 최고의 농구 선수가 됐습니다. 여러분들도 한 분야의 톱이 될 수 있기를 바라면서 이번 영상 마치겠습니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다.